but anytime we posted a picture of her and we used to tag her, she used to be like, listen, don't tag me. Like, I don't want to be tagged because people follow me or they message me nasty things or they write something about how skinny I am, how I look. And that's when I guess what you're talking about, that's when it hit me and I'm like, okay, it doesn't just happen with actors, it happens with everyone, you know. When I was in school, social media wasn't as prevalent, you know, Facebook had just about come about. And people used to say things at that time, like when I was in school, I'd been called everything from hunchback to flat screen to chicken legs to hairy, you know. So, and
Really?
but that was in our school, so we were in a bubble at that time. It wasn't, you know, all over the world, but now, you know, because of social media, the smallest of voice can be amplified across the world, and it's definitely a scary
But
time.
kids can be very cruel without
Yes.
even meaning to necessarily.
Yes.
When those things were said to you at school, did you sort of say, oh, this is just how kids talk? Or did it impact your confidence?
No, the fact that I remember exactly what people said and who said what, even like 10, 12 years later, shows like, you know, the impact that words can have. So, no, it did affect my self-confidence, and it still does to date. You know, I think self-love and is a journey. It's not really a destination. You keep getting a little bit better every single day, and no matter where you are in life, things still affect you.
You know, I was reading this data point just this week, that between 15 and 45, women actually don't take decisions regarding their own health, not even their own health. And when we talk about women and how we're feeling and how our health is, we forget to factor in how we're feeling up here. And somehow when we talk about how we're feeling holistically, it's considered like a rich person's problem, a privileged person's problem. So I know you must get a lot of that. You know, you must get a lot of the whole, you're from the industry, you're a Nepo baby, all the rest of that. Has that impacted at any point your peace of mind, your sense of wellness, your sense of sort of just well-being?
It used to at the start. I think it
Like
had.
what would happen?
Like I would just break down. Like I wouldn't be able to. I didn't want to go on set. I didn't want to work. I felt like I'm not good enough. I felt like I don't deserve to be here. I don't belong here. So I used to really like, you know,
When
not.
was this?
This was at the start when I just started out. I would say the first year when this college thing happened, and then that whole round table thing happened, which I think everyone obviously already knows about.
No, tell
You all
them.
know, na?
No, but tell them properly.
Okay, so basically I said something on a round table where I was talking about how everyone's journey is different and you can't really compare any two people. You know, the fact that I may live in a certain city and someone's not in a certain city, I already have an advantage over them. So things like that. And I was sitting with Siddhant Chaturvedi, and he said something in a very like gully boy fashion, rapper, funny way, he said. And then I think it got picked up out of context and people started making memes about it and joking about it. And it really, I think till date is something that's stuck with me. And I felt like, oh, I need to go and defend myself. I need to clarify myself. I need to, you know, explain what I said properly. And I've realized that nothing speaks louder than your work. You know, honestly, you just kind of have to sometimes put your head down, do your best work, and it'll reach people at the end of the day.
But when you would break down on set, who lifted you?
I wouldn't break down on set because
No,
we don't have the
before
liberty to do
set.
that.
Okay, before
but I guess
getting
my
onto
mom or like my family or my friends, I've had a really strong support system. I've done therapy also in the past. I'm not as regular now.
But you
with
did
therapy,
seek
but
professional
I
help.
have done therapy.
What made you do that?
I couldn't articulate my emotions. I used to just feel very, very down. And the thing sometimes I feel like with mental health and social media is that you may read something in the moment and you may not realize that it's affecting you. Because I'm fine right now, I'm having a good day, I'm in the car, I'm busy, I'll read a comment and I'll ignore it. But weeks later, it could still be there in your subconscious somewhere, and things like that really pile up. So I think with therapy, I was able to just consolidate my feelings and articulate my thoughts a little better.
Do you think there's still a stigma around talking about mental health? Especially when you live in the public gaze?
There is a stigma, definitely, but I think it's gotten a lot better. I feel like a lot of people are talking about it now. Everywhere I go, there's always a question about mental health. As an actor, I went for the Indian Sports Honor Awards and I was able to host a panel with Sania Mirza and Avni and everyone, and Laksh and everyone speaking about mental health. And so it's really opened up. I think the conversation has gotten a lot smoother, I would say.
But when you, like, you know, you've just very matter-of-factly said, and then, you know, I also sort of went into therapy, not very regularly, but sometimes. The first time you had to say that out loud, were you squeamish about it?
No, because in my family, it's been very normalized, you know. I
Right.
don't know if I'm saying you also, I can say my mom has also done therapy.
Mom is sitting there,
like
you're asking
checking
mom's,
with her
mom's
if I can
permission.